Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
I don't know where I got it. I found it in my office years ago. Somebody gave it to me in a training program somewhere, and I can't for the life of me remember who it was, but it doesn't matter. Take a look at this. I think it speaks for itself. People come to these rooms and they have the most amazing visions of what they want to get funded. If there's a common denominator here, I suspect it's that. You're here because there's something that's very, in your own mind, in your own heart, something very important, something very valuable that you would love to get some funding for to either start up or keep going. That's what brings you here. Well, something like this is really this page 16 is utterly down to earth. And it's an exercise for you to go through in terms of, starting to look at sort of how you could lay this out. And that's one of the reasons why it's Listen to what everybody was talking about. There's not as much money out there as there has been. There's increased competition for it. So maybe it does make sense to sometimes scale up and go at it from a connected perspective. And I'll just let it go at that for now. We'll get back to that later on. So at any rate, if you want a grant, what I'm saying here is if you want a grant, know what you're about when you go looking for the grant and don't lose sight of that. Defined way. I also want to make a point, which is more addressed in your materials, and that is this. Think about this. If you're in a nonprofit organization in this day and age, wouldn't you want to be seen by your publics, whatever that means, as an organization that is strongly backed by your constituents, your participants, your target group, your residents, whoever it is? Wouldn't you want to be seen as an organization which consistently made it your business to help them overcome their challenges, to help them help themselves? Wouldn't you want to be seen as an organization that did that consistently through carefully planned programs that you and your folks come up with? And wouldn't you want to be seen as an organization that always made it your business to look at the work you've done and to be accountable for the work you've done? What I'm saying to you is that the markers of what I think are an effective funding proposal and an effective nonprofit organization are one and the same. Programs like that too. My belief is when we do this work, what should permeate all of the work we do together is the idea that I'm not going to tell you how to do this any better than you can. I'm going to help you do it as best as you can. And that's sort of a value that I really hold to in terms of this work. Page 8, Susan Beresford, who's left Ford now and lives up on, so I hope that one of the benefits, one of the takeaways is that you'll have a chance perhaps to find some compatriots, if you will, with whom it makes sense to consider working together. There's a lot of lip service given to the idea of collaboration, and I don't see a lot of genuine collaboration in the realm. We don't get taught that way in this work. What we get taught to do in this work is to cover our backsides and go for what we can get for ourselves, and it's very, very hard to get beyond that. Anything here?
We started with defining measurable outcomes, and then started talking about action plans coming out
To
of it.
deliver the outcomes, right? See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Look, what you worked on, which I think it's important that you worked on this, and from my own biases, it makes sense because I think it's the most important part of the proposal, which is getting a hold of and getting your arms around and making a strong presentation of the case for change, needed change. To me, that sets the whole proposal